Hi, welcome back. This little section now is going to be of our next superhero this week. And this is a lady called Deborah. Now, you may not have heard of her, which is fine because the Bible is a massive book. I mean, look at that. Oh, how many post-it notes I've got in there just to remind me of where to go. So if you haven't heard of her, don't worry. That's one thing we're here to do, is to enlighten you and to tell you about these amazing characters in the Bible. Because although the Bible is mainly about God and Jesus and things like that, there are so many other people along the way, very faithful people who had really personal relationships with God, that they went on to do amazing things. So now this is Deborah's story. So this story can be found in Judges 4, and it's verses 1 to 5. So I'll try and put the words or the Bible passages somewhere around here. Grab an oldie and they can go in the Bible and find it with you. Okay? Now, the Israelites were living in a place called Canaan. But they weren't really obeying God's law. They were kind of doing things themselves. And that doesn't always make God happy. And it certainly didn't make him happy at that point, because just around the corner there was a massive army waiting to try and invade Canaan. That doesn't make God happy if people try and invade his people's land. But his people weren't relying on God. However, one person was, and that person was called Deborah. Lovely lady. Don't know that much about her in the Bible, but what we do know is that she was like a prophet or a judge, like in the book of Judges, and she spoke to God on a regular basis. And God would speak back to her and ask her things and tell her things. Now, the Israelite army were quite scared at this point. Their commander was fearful because the army that was waiting just round the corner had 900 iron chariots. Now, if you think back to those days, a chariot was, I guess, like a tank nowadays. It was fast. The horses would pull it fast. It was pure metal, so if you tried to shoot your arrows and things, they would just bounce off it, so people were protected. And the damage that these could cause as they're ploughing through people and land and barricades, I would not want to face a chariot at full speed. So to have 900 of them, you were a pretty formidable army. You were going to do some damage. And that made the Israelite army scared, to the point where Deborah had to go to them after receiving a message from God and saying, don't be afraid. God's got this in hand. You need to go to battle. Well, the commander was like, no, I don't. I do not need to go to battle. Have you seen those chariots down there? Do you know what they can do to me and my men? Trust in the Lord, she said. Trust in the Lord. Do as God says. Go to battle. Well, you see, I can't. But what he did say was, Deborah, would you come with me? Well, she didn't even hesitate. Yes, I'll be with you, right on the front line. Now, that's quite an unusual place for a lady to be back in the Bible, on the front line of a battle, commanding an army. But people held Deborah in great respect, knowing that she worshipped the God of the Almighty, the maker of everything, and that he spoke to her as well. Well, anyway, they stood at the top of this mountain. They looked down on these 900 chariots. The commander still quivering, as I would. Deborah, hair blowing beautifully, dressed however she was, looked down calmly and said, wait, let them get closer, then we're going to get them. Let them get closer? Are you kidding me? The horses, the chariots, and the arrows, and the I think that's what he said. I think that's how he sounded as well. Deborah, calm, let them get closer. Well, I don't know about you, but I love thunderstorms. I love the sound of thunder in the distance, and I love the patterns that lightning makes, and I love hearing the rain hit a roof. Hate being out in it, but I love those sounds that come with a thunderstorm. that is exactly what God delivered. So, as these great, big, strong chariots came storming towards the Israelites, God created this. How scary would that have been? They all got confused in the storm, and Deborah said, "Now go." So as they went streaming down this mountain to go and face this oncoming army, they got stuck in mud. They got scared by the lightning, because after all, they're standing on metal. That couldn't have been good. And they tried to flee and they got stuck. And Deborah and her army won. They fled. The rest of the army ran away, ran away. They ran as far as their legs could carry them. And the Israelite army returned to Canaan victorious. Now, this is where I have to look at this now. And excuse me, I need to warm up my voice, because apparently in Judges 5, verse 3, it says, Deborah and the commander of the army sang a song of praise for the victory God had given them. And they sang, I will sing to the Lord, I will sing praise to the Lord, God of Israel. See you soon.